Hi, it's Marina from the University of Georgia's Intensive English Program. Today we're going to talk about another question type that you'll often see on both the IELTS and the TOEFL writing section in their part 2, and that's the discuss both points of view type question. There's no one way to write this question type, but if you follow this format, then it'll help you organize your essay and increase your band score. So let's look at how these questions are often worded. A question might be worded like this. Computers are being used more and more in education. Some people say that this is a positive trend, while others argue that it is leading to negative consequences. Discuss both sides of this argument and then give your own opinion. For a prompt like this, just like in all other question types, your introduction needs to start with you restating the prompt in your own words. Make sure you use synonyms, reword the organization of the sentence. You could even choose to take one sentence and make it into 2 sentences. However you want to do it, make sure you don't copy the prompt word for word, but put it in your own words. So let's look at the original prompt and then my example first sentence from my introduction side by side so you can see how I use synonyms and how I reworded it to make a new sentence. Let's take a look. Education has changed greatly over the last several decades. Most notably, the use of technology in schools and classrooms has increased exponentially. While some believe this increase will positively affect students, others worry about what ramifications this may bring. For your introduction, after you reword the prompt, then you need to include your opinion, just like in the agree and disagree essays. So like in those essays, you have a couple options here. You can either choose to completely agree that computers are a positive trend in education, or you could choose to completely disagree and say that you do think that computers cause negative consequences. Or your third option would be to go somewhere in the middle, that you neither fully agree with the first point of view nor fully disagree with the first point of view. It's up to you. So what I'd like to do in my example is go somewhere in the middle, that I think that there are some positives to computers, but there are also some negatives. So I might write my opinion sentence like this. So let's take a look. This would be the second sentence in my introductory paragraph. In my opinion, schools should be careful to not overly rely on computers for teaching. However, a certain amount of technology is necessary in a modern classroom. So my introduction would be the reworded sentence prompt and my opinion. And that's the end of your introduction. Then you need to start your body paragraphs. For these types of essays where you have to discuss both points of view, you want to discuss each point of view in a separate paragraph. So in your first body paragraph, you're going to discuss the first point of view, that computers are a positive thing for classrooms. So before I start writing, I want to work on my outline. This is something that I talked about in my other videos about writing Task 2 test tips. So you don't want to spend a lot of time on your outline, but you should do it so that you can organize your thoughts and try to be thinking about the examples and reasons you're going to give in your body paragraphs. So when I was making my outline, I thought of some reasons why I think computers are a positive thing in classrooms. Some things that I came up with and I want to make sure I include in my body paragraph 1 are that computers help students connect with the classroom. Technology is something that all the students are using at home, so if they can use it at school too, then it'll help them connect. And also, we live in a world full of technology, and so it just makes sense for it to be part of our classroom too. My body paragraph 1 would focus primarily just on the positives of computers. I could give my opinion here too, but I want to talk about the positives of computers in classrooms. Then you need to do the same thing for your body paragraph 2. Your body paragraph 2 is going to go on the second point of view, so why computers may cause negative consequences in classrooms. So in my outline, some things that I came up with here were that not everybody has equal access to technology at home. So while they may be able to do the work at school, they wouldn't necessarily be able to do homework the same as some of their peers. And also, using computers in classrooms might take away some of the personal interactions you have with teachers. So I'd make sure that I include that in my body paragraph too. Finally, you may need to make sure you include your opinion. So here, you could include a third body paragraph, which would probably be shorter, which specifically outlines what your opinion on the topic is, or you could include your opinion within the body paragraphs 1 and body paragraphs 2. What you decide to do may depend on which test you're taking. For the IELTS, you need to write somewhere between 250 to about 280 words. But on the TOEFL, you need to write between 300 and 350 words. So if you're taking the TOEFL, you might need to include more examples and more reasons than you do if you're taking the IELTS. But make sure you're paying attention to time too, because you don't have a lot of time to write. Whatever you decide to do, you do need to make sure that your opinion is in there somewhere, not just in your introduction and conclusion, but also backed up within your paragraphs or specifically in a third body paragraph. Your last paragraph is your conclusion. So your conclusion needs to restate the prompt, again in your own words and in a different way than you did in your introduction, and the main points that you made. You should also include your opinion, but if you did a third body paragraph on your opinion, make sure you're not too repetitive within your conclusion, but you should include it here briefly too. And that's it, you're done with your essay. Make sure you spend a couple of minutes at the end proofreading it to try to find any mistakes that you may have made, because this will help increase your score. You can find my full model answer to this prompt on our website at iep.uga.edu. There you can find some other work and other tips and how to write other question types on the IELTS and the TOEFL also. Thanks for watching and good luck writing.